Welcome to the Attic Manadad here. It's the channel where we explore what's fun in Magic, mostly on Arena, but today, not just on Arena, it's also on MTGO, in paper. It's Aetherdrift, it's coming, we're going to talk about it. Let's go! Okay, so I've done these kind of videos previously on the channel, but I have not done them for the last couple sets because they take an enormous amount of time, and I am a dad with 2 small children, and I don't have time for all that. But we're going to try out something new this time. I'm going to try to create as many as I can as small pieces, and then I will try to release the whole thing as a big piece when it's all done. So that is what you are watching. You are watching the first piece right now. Okay, and here is the overview of what we're aiming for with this series on Aetherdrift. First of all, talk about release dates. Very important. That's coming up later in this video. Also, the money cards. You can stick around in this video for that. Then I'll have another video with some mana bases and fixing talk, plus going through all the official archetypes. That's for each 2-color pair, what Wizards thinks they're supposed to be. And then we'll also talk about some hidden archetypes or build around things, some other things you can be doing in draft to or in sealed that you can do with Aetherdrift that are going to be pretty fun. Another video, we're going to do removal by color, and probably in another video, combat tricks by color. Removal, we're going to break down, okay, say you have a spell that deals 3 damage. How many creatures, and in this case, vehicles, is that going to take out with that removal? Combat tricks, what are the instant speed things that are going to mess you up in combat? Flash creatures, that kind of thing. Another video, we'll do the top commons predicted. Of course, the set is not out yet. We haven't even seen the Wizards preferred content creators, of which I am not one, playing with it early. So we'll just predict that. I've been pretty successful in predicting the top commons. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I have done a pretty good job of scoping out top commons. And, you know, sometimes my brother, who is a Mythic level drafter, joins me on these videos. Not sure if I'm going to get him on this one. I guess you will find out if he is able to jump in on any of these. It's football season right now. He's pretty busy, but he was up as high as number 4 rank on Arena in Limited very recently. So we hope to get his opinion on things. But anyways, top commons, I've been successful predicting these, but whether I am or not, you can come back in a couple months and either pat me on the back or mock me mercilessly for the cards that I predicted after going through the whole set with a fine-tooth comb to make this video. The cards that I predicted would be the top commons. We'll talk about traps and constructed plants. These are cards you don't want to draft or you don't want to open in your sealed pool. They're either they look good and they're not really that good, in my opinion, or they're just, you know, for constructed, for standard, for commander, you know, cards like that, what have you. It's just going to be nothing you want to play in your deck. And then finally, we'll talk about windmill slams. These are cards that if you open a pack, you will slam them immediately. They are the best of the best cards. You don't necessarily have to look at anything else in the pack to make that decision. You know, you're taking it. And that could include a mythic, common or uncommon. We never know. The cards that are common or uncommon, but maybe at mythic level power. We've seen a lot of those in recent sets. So that is the overview. Let's get into the release dates here. Aetherdrift coming out in paper February 7th. So go to your local game store and play it. I think the evening of February 7th, which is probably a Friday night. And all through that weekend, February 11th, you're going to be able to play on Arena and MTGO. I believe it's usually 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but don't quote me on that. And then the official paper release is February 14th. So Valentine's Day, take your date down to the card store and buy that date some packs of Aetherdrift on February 14th. What is in a play booster? I'm not going to run down collector boosters for this set. This is exclusively focusing on limited, which is sealed and draft. So what is in a play booster? In Aetherdrift, well, if you're used to play boosters for the last couple sets, this will seem pretty familiar. You're going to have 14 actual playable cards and 1 non-foil token or art card. And among the 14 draftable playable cards here, we've got 1 land card, which will be a traditional foil in 20% of packs. We've got 1 foil card of any rarity. So again, play boosters now can be god packs. You can get 3 rares in a pack. So this is 1 slot to look for it, the foil slot. Then there's, of course, the rare or mythic rare slot. That is a guaranteed rare. And then there's the 1 card of any rarity, including booster fun cards. So that is another place you can have a rare show up in your pack. And then you have 3 commons and 6 to 7 commons, almost always 7, but 1.5% of the time it is going to be replaced by a non-foil Aetherdrift special guest card. And I guess in that case, you could get a rare or mythic rare in that slot as well. So that is the contents of a play booster. Now, before we end this part of the video, let's talk about the money cards in this set. Now, technically, these anime cards, of which apparently the most desirable as I make this video is Loot the Pathfinder in the foil anime. It's like a sparkle foil or something. I do believe those are only available in collector boosters. And then you can see these bright yellow, they're called first place finisher cards, where March of the World Ooze here. That one is only available in box toppers, that style, I believe. Might also be available in collector boosters. I'm not exactly sure. There are special guests, though, in the packs, as we talked about. So the main money cards you'll be opening up in draft, and you probably won't want to pass in your pack, are Radiant Lotus, which is a 6 mana. Tap, sacrifice 1 or more artifacts. Target player adds 3 or more of the chosen color for each artifact sacrificed this way. People are targeting that for commander. There's also Ether Spark. It remains to be seen whether that will be constructed playable exactly. And some people predicting it will be quite powerful. It's been thrown around as being talked about like the One Ring, because it's a 4 mana artifact that can theoretically go in any deck. It is also, in my opinion, kind of fiddly and hard to make work, so it definitely won't work in every deck. But in limited, it should be decent, if not very strong. So that is definitely a windmill slam in limited if you are taking value into consideration. Radiant Lotus, if you're playing to win, I'm not sure Radiant Lotus is going to be a great limited pick. But we can talk about that more later in the video, or in another video, actually, because this video is wrapping up. And we'll move on next to talking about how to build a draft deck with mana fixing and the archetypes that are available in the set.